Hi there, it's Lori, and I guess Missy's sleeping. My story is not a dad story today, but my granddaughter. So I'm filming this on Saturday. My daughter brought the grandkids over to my place today, and when she uses the potty at Mima's house, then she gets a sticker. Well, the sticker is in my craft room. So she picked her stickers, all cat stickers. She wanted cat stickers. In case you were wondering why I have so many, that's the answer you were looking for. Anyway, I said, "Well, do you want to look at some yarn?" And she's like, "Yeah." So we go over to the other room, even though I have this whole bookcase full of yarn. That isn't necessarily the yarn I knew she would want to look at because she likes squishy yarn or whatever. I said, "What color yarn would you like to look at?" And she said purple yarn. So I showed her where my purple and pink yarn was, and then I was showing her all the different squishy yarn. Well, the squishy yarn is in baskets. I swear I have not been having her watch Bag o' Day crochet. I kid you not. This girl, first thing she does, she's 3.5. She squishes it, she feels it, she rubbed it on her face, and smelled it. Some of the yarn, she smelled it first. I didn't show her this. So, crystal bag a day, some people are just born with it. Apparently, my granddaughter, just born with it, needs to smell the yarn. It was funny which one she chose that smelled the best. I had to agree with her because I had to smell it all after her because I'm like, I wonder what she's smelling. I don't like something like this because again, here we're only allowed to have a 4.5 millimeter hoot, crochet hoot. I think I have a 10 crochet hoot all the time. 10 out of 10 that is. Anyway, but something like this that's got natural fibers, I can see smelling, and this definitely smells different than the polyester, and because she wanted to feel all the blanket yarn. I did not teach this child to smell the yarn. She just did it. So yeah, maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe you're born with it. She was born with it. So I'm gonna do a shout out Sunday, and I will give you progress on the cow blanket. There have been storms in and out, very little rain, but lots of pressure changes. So I've had a little bit of a rough weekend. And then I had some social plans and some different things. Then I went live with Lori, Armchair Chef Lori, where we discovered that her baby alien things that she got and I have the same size head. I have the same size head as a toy, not a toy. Yikes. Hilarious. I will link that live because you want to see it because it's funny. It's funny because I'm like, she's like, "Hey," the other Lori, Armchair Chef Lori. I'm like, "Lori, how does this head compare to your head?" I'm like, "I don't know." And so what did I do? Grab this measuring tape because, it's a cute measuring tape and I love it. I hid this from my granddaughter when she was in here, by the way. I did not want her to see this. She's been known to take off with my stuff. So anyway, yep, 20 inches. That is exceptionally small, in case you were wondering. Yep, 20 inches. And then Madison Ray had one of the same aliens at her house. So she measured the alien's head at her house and she said 20 inches. So me and a baby alien. And we've determined that, does this mean I'm an alien? Maybe. Maybe, just maybe. That would make my dad an alien and that would explain a whole lot. Just kidding. Anyway, that's life. I was glad she asked me to join her. It was fun. Um, I I think, yeah. I am not thinking very clearly, just so you know, because of all the pressure in my head and stuff. So I apologize, but I wanted to do Sunday shout outs because my Saturday shout outs was also this. It was so many and all sizes of channels, all the spectrum there. I wanted to shout out some channels that are a little bit not necessarily smaller than me. A couple of them are smaller than me, but they could really use watch hours and subscribers. Um, and I'll go through them in the way I wrote them on the page, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that alien story briefly with the shout out. So I'm gonna start with Michelle plays hooky. She we call her Michelle 2 L's because the other Michelle I'm going to talk about has 1 L in her name. Michelle 2Ls. Michelle Plays Hooky uh, puts out content at least once a week or thereabouts when she's doing all right. Anyway, love her, support her, send all the love her way. Uh, she's fantastic, and like I said, it's she's doing all that she can is what I'm going to say, and she's very skilled. I love her work, and you will enjoy her content. She's lovely. I will put the actual website and not just tag her, because Ladybird Loves Khadijah told me that it's better to go ahead and do the actual website link. So I will do that. I'll tag and put the website link to make it easier to find her. Make sure you get exactly where you need to be. Helix Stitchcraft, Lexi. Helix Stitchcraft I met probably either on the Spoonie Stitchers or maybe on Camille's. I'm not, or maybe on Andy Crafty Witch. I can't remember. Maybe Camille. I could have been any of those 4 places. But where I remember for sure connecting with her was on the Spoonie Stitcher Shannon's channel. She started her channel earlier in this year, kind of for her own accountability and documentation of her stuff. That's kind of similar to what I did. Lexi posts a lot more consistent material than I did for at least a year. I didn't post much. No, year and a half. I probably had my channel before I started any kind of consistency. She does do some lives. She's doing tutorials because she's part of the Battle of the Stitches, and she does a lot of her own design, and she's starting to write it down, and maybe at some point she'll be making patterns too. So love her, support her, check her out. We did a yarn swap. That's how we connected, but we seem to do a lot of back and forth sending stuff to each other. This was from her. Oh, I will talk about this real quick. I used her bag because it had a nice hole in there. I always hang my roses upside down because then they dry really nicely. Well, what's the story with this rose? I went to a comedy club not the comedy club, sorry, a comedy show, because it was actually in a pretty decent sized venue. Comedy show for Josh Johnson. It was called the Flower Tour. So they were randomly giving out flowers. While I was in the restroom, my husband got a flower for me. So it was a date night for us. It was lovely. We went to a little Italian restaurant. It was great. So I used, because she had probably a chain one, skip one gap. So I was like, I used her Lexi's little thing that she made with me. And then she's the one that came up with let's make snowmen on the 22 pin Centro. And so this is my version. She did a whole family and some. I did crochet this. This was done on the Centro. This was done on the Centro. I crocheted the nose with with embroidery floss and a 1mm hook. But this concept was her idea. She and I have had a little bit of a Centro journey together. Crafty Witch 232 Andy has tried to really help me with has really helped me with the Centro. I have a whole list of things I want to give it a go. And now I'm going to talk about CNY Knits and Crochets. Mindy is her name. Her channel is CNY Knits and Crochets. She does predominantly lives, not only lives, but almost. At least 75% of her content is live. It could be more than that. She's really, really looking for some watch hours. She's fun to watch. And if you want to learn, she puts the camera in a direction that you can learn from her. I said it before. I said it in Saturday's video. I feel like watching her teach how to knit, I might be able to do it. I haven't tried it yet, but I want to mention that. Please go check her out and actually watch a couple things, whether it's her videos or a replay on her lives. She reads out nearly all the comments, not the ones that you don't want read out. So that she's respecting those who are just listening, and also if they don't know, that they can go over to the live chat and a replay, so that people know what people were saying in the chat. So it's all documented in her lives. It's very helpful. She says a lot, but I know she's looking for watch hours. Let's give her some help. In addition to her channel, I'll link a playlist. Hopefully she has some. I think she does. And then that brings us to So Magical Michelle. Michelle 1L. It's now Live Fantastical. And I think it's Michelle and Cheyenne Live Fantastical. Cheyenne is her daughter. She does her art, does the art for their journals. I keep showing this one, but they have several. This is not the only one they have. I think it's a lot of fun. My husband is trying to, I don't know what just happened there, but anyway. So she does the journals. I'll link the shop in the comments. So sorry, I might have to edit that out. I have Crafty Witch 232 running here while I'm recording this. So I said I am so sorry. I haven't been sleeping well at all. Thanks to, but sorry, not the purple hair, just the pressure in my head. Anyway, live fantastical, hashtag magical MAL. I will include that. August's theme, she's not collaborating. There's the word. Collaborating with Armchair Chef Lori, and the theme is anything alien. It could be alien colors. It could be alien whatever. That's the aliens. That's why the aliens came out in Armchair Chef Lori's live. And I will link the live that's about the contest, about the August make along. That's what MAL stands for. It does not have to be crochet knit. It could be drawings. It could be, they always joke, interpretive dance. I really would love to see someone do that. That won't be me. I actually have an idea for this month. I just have to get a very specific yarn in a specific 2 colors for me to do it the way I want to do it. I think it would be amazing, and I really want to do it. I hope I can get it. I hope I can make it happen. But I may not, and I'll show you in a minute why. I think I will. Though. Okay, so she has the journals, and she has the make along for August. Okay, so you submit them to her. I will put her email and her link and her shop and her website, her tag, her shop, all in the description box. So why I might not get it done? Well, I did pretty darn good on the cow blanket, but no, it's not done. It's good. It's so cute. I love this blanket. It's just because I've had so much going on, and then with the pressure in my head, I just haven't been able to work on it enough. And I decided to have social time with my husband. Crazy me. Anyway, that is how far I got. I am almost to the first corner, which I actually think, is this direction up on the top. I'm almost to the corner. I think I've like 4 more rows, something like that. So I'm getting there. It's not going to be done. I already canceled on attending because I know with how I'm feeling, it's actually the baby shower is a pretty fair drive. And even if I stayed up and finished that, which in theory I could, my head won't cooperate with driving that far. That's one of the things I have found that is most impacted for me when I'm struggling with migraine stuff, is that I don't feel safe driving very far away. I can do about a half an hour drive, and that's as far as I can go. Anyway, that's that blanket. I did show this in Armchair Chef Lori's live. This is how far I am on the animal blanket. I'm ready to the cat's nose. Almost done with the cat's nose. 1 more row on that. Started working on the dog's eyes. The pig is cute. This cow is cute, but we're calling it a calf because it's going to end up, it's a baby because this dog is going to be so much bigger. So much bigger than that cow. So that has to be a baby. But it's cute. It's so cute. The end is in sight. But those 2 blankets, I'm gonna finish the cow print blanket, and then I'll go back to the animal blanket. And then if I get the right yarn to do the thing I want to do for the magical make along, I'll come up with something. Even if I can't do the exact thing I want to do, then I will. I'll still do something because I can come up with something to do that's relatively fast. However, Decade Divas is coming at me really fast. And so I've got the most important piece of that project done. I'm so sorry. Allergies have been killing me too. So anyway, sorry. Allergies have been rough on me. So I should say that. But that's where I'm at. I'm going to do a live also today, but I'm trying to schedule around Crafty Witch Andy's Crafty Witch 232 because she did a tutorial where her husband made the item. He's not crocheted before, from what I understand, and so I'm working with her to schedule around that a little bit so that it's reasonable. So 4 channels is a lot, I know, and especially when there's extra videos that I want you to watch or linked videos, and then a couple shops to check out, or is it just one shop? Let's see. I have things listed. Um, I'll put a playlist for Michelle Plays Hooky. I'll put a playlist for Helix. I'll put a playlist for CNY Woman, and then with Michelle, I will put her shop, her channel, her live where she talks about the make along, and then the live Armchair Chef did the following night, where you can see that my head and the baby alien's head are the same size. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Good times. All right. This is kind of already longer than I anticipated. I will probably speed it up. So you guys are awesome. And thanks for coming in. And can I get an amen?